What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood? And welcome back to this video series I'm doing, Blank Canvas Conversations, powered by Blank Canvas Creatives Network, man, BKC Network on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm Juice from the Good in the Hood podcast. I host 14 episodes deep, and I'm here with someone who's way more than 14 episodes deep podcast. I'm saying, we're 162 now, right?
Yeah, Beerz Barz is at 162 episodes as of yesterday. So
OT the GoldN Child from Beerz Barz Podcast. Man, how you feeling, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm enjoying this beautiful Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Not much. It's about 75 degrees out here in beautiful Kell Stream. So, you know, I'm doing all right, man.
Okay. All right, you in Kell Stream? I'm right here in Forest Park over here in Illinois, man. Right outskirts of Chicago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. And I found out about you actually. I think it was either Weasel Sims, another local rapper from Chicago, or someone else happened to post you guys, and then I was like, man, this dude is dope. You got a dope thing going with Beerz Barz, talking about everything in hip hop culture and connecting it to the beer world, man.
Yeah.
So before we get into any topics, I want to kind of get where that started at, like people know you.
Yeah, so Beerz Barz is myself and my homeboy Kamal Kiddo. We both graduated from Southern Illinois University at Carbondale.
Dope.
We were good friends and good buddies at Carbondale. We were in a group called 121 Productions. You know what I'm saying? We was little rappers and making beats and all that kind of good stuff. And we always had, me and him, good conversations around hip hop. In about 2011, me and him wanted to have this show called Spitfire, where it's kind of based upon Partner Interruption, where it's quick topics and just going over things in hip hop. So we shot a pilot episode and then we set on it, and then life happens, you know, wife, kids and all that. And we literally did nothing regarding that for like 8 years. And then one day we just had a conversation like, yo, what are we doing? Like, what's up? Like, we had this great idea for this show. Let's do it. And by this time I had kind of become, you know, like a craft beer drinker. I had kind of really getting into, you know, the local beer scene or just beers in general. And somehow we was like, yo, well, when people have good conversations, they're usually doing it, you know what I'm saying, while you either drinking or whatever the case may be. He was like, we could just probably drink a beer and then have hip-hop conversations. And then it just hit like, I don't know if it was me or him, but somebody suggested, you know, Beerz Barz. And it was like, yo. So that was the conception of it. And we started in August of 2016. So, yeah.
Oh, man, that's dope. You actually kind of confirmed the theory I've always had about like how the podcast industry kind of got started. And I think a lot of us, especially podcasts based around hip hop, I think it came a lot from ESPN. I think we all want to have that hip hop first take. We all kind of wanted that. I think I started going to college and I majored in communications and broadcast communications, largely because I wanted to be like a smarter version of Jason Whitlock. You know what I'm saying? Like a person with sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he was kind of dope at first, he dude like The Wire, and then he just started cooning. But yeah, I digress.
Yeah, for sure.
And like you said, it's a beautiful day out here in Illinois, and it's crazy because usually around this time we all be outside kicking it because it's so nice out. But between the pandemic and the, of course, tragedy of George Floyd's passing and causing all the protests and the curfews around the protests, and I'm a big supporter of the protests and what's going on right now around this situation. Let me hear your take on what you're seeing and how you feel about everything going on right now.
Well, first and foremost, I do think that cop murdered George Floyd. I think there's no doubt about what happened. Anytime I said on our show, the episode before, anytime you can have your knee on somebody's neck for 8 minutes and show no empathy, that's something wrong with that situation. There's a lack of empathy of, you know, believing that somebody, I think, is a human being just like you are. So, you know, I'm not a lawyer, but I do think that, I hope that I think he was charged with murder and manslaughter, correct? I'm not sure what degrees of both.
I think he got second-degree murder. It was third at first, and they moved up to second.
I mean, it doesn't really happen a lot with cops, but I just hope that he's, you know, I hope that he's gets what he deserved, you know, to the full extent of those charges. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, and protesting is necessary. You know, I'm not really big on, you know, all of the other, you know, the unrest as far as, you know, all the damages and all that. But I do understand that people are frustrated and people are tired. So, you know, it's one of those things where I wish that wasn't happening, but people are pissed. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're here again and we're seeing what happened and people are mad, man. So You know, it's an unfortunate situation, but I feel like we were already at a tipping point anyway in society, you know. I just feel like something like this was bound to happen, and that's unfortunate to say, but I think this was coming.
Absolutely, I think it was coming. I think, and I've heard people say this a lot, and it sucks to say it like this, but when I look at 2020, like it's been so much chaos and just it's been a roller coaster ride for all of us, I'm sure. Like going back to Kobe's passing, going through the pandemic, going now into into what we are now, where it's a complete the quote unquote war on race is like reignited to a level we've never seen before, really. And I think honestly, in a large part, it could be something as a world we really needed. We needed something to kick us in our ass a little bit. And I think we're getting that. And of course, we lost hundreds of thousands of lives, unfortunately, because of it. But I think we have to come out of this a better place, a better world as a whole. We have to, right?
Yeah, I think we will as well. You know, I'm not. I want to see people going forward. I mean, I do appreciate all of the support, you know, of everybody who's saying, you know, Black Lives Matter and all of that. But I want to see what they do after this, right? Because I'm always a little skeptical, you know, like everybody wants to look cool now and make sure they're saying the right things. But I think what happens after this is going to show where people's hearts and minds really are.
Yeah, me and you are friends on Facebook, so I'm sure you see me go through 1,000 like Facebook debates and fights over this topic. And then I'm not a supporter of the dude in the writing, like you said, either. But I also think it is a distraction. I think when we talk about it too much, it distracts from the larger point at hand. Kind of like when Kaepernick took his knee, they want to distract us from the fact he's taking his knee for police brutality. Talk about how important the flag is.
Exactly.
And with that flag being mentioned, Drew Brees came out and he pretty much out of nowhere. The interviewer gave him a layup, said something nice about Kaepernick. They gave him a layup and said, just say something nice, and he just had to go left. And I don't agree with anyone who disrespects the flag and went on to talk about his grandfathers in World War II. Meanwhile, blacks in World War II were treated like absolute shit, you know, and just being tone deaf and not reading the room as people have been saying all week. And for him to go back and apologize and double down and apologize by responding to Trump and telling Trump to wake up, and just seeing how the NFL is reacting now. What's your take on that? Because Roger Goodell just made a huge broadcast.
I'm skeptical.
Gotta be.
So I mean, you know, but I mean, here's the thing. I'm skeptical, but I appreciate what they're trying to do. And I think that what we have to do is look at what happens going forward. First of all, with Drew Brees, it was a layup, but at the same time, Drew Brees, I think the interviewer already knew that we already know Drew Brees is very patriotic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't want to say he was baiting him, but he's a journalist. And I feel like he knew, you know what I'm saying, Drew Brees' stance, wanted to see what he was going to say. And Drew Brees completely fumbled. Now, I do think that it's important that all opinions are, you know, presented in these complex situations and ideas. But to your point, Drew Brees missed it, right? Yeah. We get why you see the flag the way you do, which is important because there's a bevy and a plethora of experiences and whatnot. But you're missing the fact that the players had already said that that's not why they were kneeling. And it's kind of like flipping the narrative a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to shift it back to the flag, even though it's already been stated that that's not what this is about. So
time and time again.
Yeah.
Like Kaepernick said it time and time again. Soldiers in the military came out and said, we have given Kaepernick came to us for advice, and we told him this is the best way to go about it. Like, Nate Boyd. Nate Boyd, he came out and said this. He came to me, and I gave him the advice: just take a knee and silent protest. There's nothing wrong with that. That's literally the First Amendment, you know, which the flag also stands for. And we can go on, and we just passed what should have been the 27th birthday for Breonna Taylor. So I want to wish her condolences. Wish her rest in peace also, and terrible loss there also, and Ahmaud Arbery. And it's been happening for years and years and decades, and I'm kind of glad that now we're starting to see a little bit of a shift. I mean, of course, the worst things had to happen, but just seeing things like the Robert E. Lee statue being taken down, the
That's
NFL, huge in Virginia. Virginia is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of those states that, you know, just never fold on that kind of topic.
Exactly.
So just seeing little things like that. Maybe one day the Confederate flag will be washed from existence. Maybe, but we're seeing things. Yeah, I doubt it too.
Like, I mean, and again, I think the reason why these things keep happening in these conversations and why we're having this social unrest is because until we have the tough conversations correctly and people understand that, yes, I am never one to say, man, it's just as bad as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a father who grew up. My father was born in 1948. You know what I'm saying? He grew up in Jim Crow. So I would never say things are as bad as they've always been. But that does not mean that bad shit still isn't happening and that we still don't have to correct certain areas of society where, you know, again, that's a systematic problem where somebody can feel as if they can just keep a knee to somebody's neck as they are in their position begging for their life. Like, what is the disconnect there? You know what I'm saying? And then when you look over his record, right, I believe, I can't speak too much on it because I didn't look at it myself, but I think he has a history of this. So that means somebody's turning a blind eye, right?
Yeah.
Why?
And like, and then when you find out it's over a $20 bill, it's like, like really? You're going to this level for this during a pandemic? Like this is the things you're prioritizing is a $20 bill.
Exactly.
And like the man's handcuffed. Like, what's the need for it? It just was so many just crazy things on top of it. And then the cops that were with him that just stood idly by. I'm glad they're getting charged with manslaughter and I think also aiding and abetting or something like that. So I'm glad that's a thing. I'm glad that finally there's some justice being paid. And I'm also want to get your take on because one thing I felt bad about in our generation. We're pretty close in age. So I think I would say our generation, is that we don't really have a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Black Panther Party. We won't have these kind of social figures that are consistently in the limelight. I feel like, and so we typically always lean on these celebrities, and I see why we do it, but at the same time, I don't see why it's necessary. Kendrick Lamar caught flack for not saying anything. People were saying, please, Kanye, don't say anything. So Kanye showed up and didn't say a word and just gave $2 million and paid Gianna Floyd's college fund, which is huge by Kanye. Yeah. Michael Jordan came out and he said his brand is giving $100 million over the next 10 years to racial injustice. And like things like this is happening. I'm curious. So what do you feel like? What do you feel about when the uproar comes to celebrities to speak?
I'm middle of the road there as well. I think that we have to grant celebrities and, entertainers and all that kind of stuff grace. Look, not everybody, how do I put this? We do have people that speak up. We have our Killer Mikes. And I think Killer Mike is brilliant. You see what I'm saying?
Killer Mike for president.
But we have to understand, some people are who they are, right? Exactly. And I think one of the problems is that celebrities are on these pedestals where we kind of do look too much to them to say something and whatnot. And not everybody is eloquent or can put words properly to say something without sometimes looking stupid. I mean, look how many people have said things that they probably didn't say right. And now they hold, you might say something dumb and then now you canceled or something like that, Yeah. And Kendrick Lamar is the kind of artist, speaking about that, who's in his head, and he will give you a project, though, right?
Yeah.
If you want to know what Kendrick Lamar feels about the situation, go listen to *To Pimp a Butterfly*. It's right. It's right there, right?
Right there. 17 tracks for you.
17 tracks properly detailing a Black experience, and he's an artist and a creative that may not give you a tweet, but he'll give you art, and I think their responsibility is art more than Shout out to the ones that do speak, but I'm not really into, condemning those who don't, who some of them are not already even on social media like that. Like J.Cole don't be J. Cole is not a social media guy. Neither is Kendrick Lamar, and a lot of them aren't. You know.
J.
Now,
Cole
if you
thinks
are,
he's like me and you.
Huh?
J. Cole thinks he's like me and you. He thinks he's a regular dude still. He just be walking around.
Yeah, J. Cole at the protest though, walking around with people, you know. So I mean, but if you are that kind of person and you talking on this end, like if you are a social media person or a entertainer or artist, and you are talking a lot on a lot of dumb shit, you know.
Yeah.
Then maybe you should, you know,
be quiet.
Be quiet or say something. Say something about what's going on right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's very true. It definitely differs upon the person. I kind of understood why they wanted to hear from Kendrick, but at the same time, like you said, we hear from Kendrick when Kendrick gives us music. So
yeah, he's never been out there like that.
Never. It's never been active on social media ever. I've never even. I don't think I can remember a Kendrick Lamar tweet that's memorable. Jay-Z, of course, is someone we also look to, and he reached out. And Jay-Z does things behind the scenes. I wish we just let him just do what he does behind the scenes and stop questioning him. Stop questioning Ho. Stop questioning Ho. He's about action, like you said.
But the point there is, though, these people, some people also are more about the action than they are, you know.
Yeah.
And I understand they do have influence and power as to what maybe their words can mean something.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z is about action, right? He's gonna put his money more so where his mouth is than say something. I don't even think he have Instagram or Twitter anyway.
Right?
I don't think.
And someone like in Barack, he's spoken like when these people speak, it's important, but at the same time, you have to realize that these people are probably doing things behind the scenes. Like if Jay-Z and Barack Obama aren't speaking to every time something happens, I'm sure they're speaking to someone who can help the situation rather than just speaking to us. And with that being said, I got matter of fact, before we say anything, let's shout out Killer Mike some more because Killer Mike has spoken several times, and I don't know how he does it, man. We do podcasts here, and of course you go through stutters, you have to think about things, you have notes. I've seen Killer Mike on multiple platforms just preaching off the top of his head and just not breaking speech. Everything is just flawless. Everything's perfectly said. He talked about the Drew Brees thing. He broke down how can you hold this flag to such a high regard? You can go to Germany, you won't see a Nazi flag hanging. So for this flag to be hanging next to the enemy flag, how important is this flag really? So just things like that just put things in perspective. The man, and his album just dropped too.
Killer Mike, man. Killer Mike, I mean, if he ever runs for any office, I'm definitely going to be the person that will look into. Hopefully, it's an office of of the whole nation. Hopefully, it's not just specific to Atlanta. But that guy, complex, nuanced, right? I can't say that he's definitely supports more Democrats. You know, he supports Bernie Sanders and all that.
Yeah.
But even within that, he's also somebody who is super pro Second Amendment, right?
Yeah.
Which typically isn't a left, stand. So he's complex and he just has great ideas, man. I love that dude, man.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more. And talking about someone like Killer Mike, whose album just dropped. There's been an album from Freddie Gibbs that just dropped with Alchemist, Alfredo. Yeah. I know you guys just talked about that. Let me hear your take, man, because I think Freddie Gibbs might be one of them dudes, man.
Yeah, so Freddie Gibbs I got on Freddie Gibbs with Pinata. I think that might have been a Mad Lib project in 2014. Kind of skipped some stuff, and I got back on with him in You Only Live Twice, which was like a little short 7 to 8 project joint. And then he had something else drop. But anyhow, I check for Freddie every time he dropped. The project that recently dropped, the Alfredo joint with Alchemist, is very good to me. My two favorite joints are the joint with my favorite joint is probably the joint with Conway.
It's a tough one.
The only joint, I know that's what the sample is saying. I'm not sure what the song is called, but I think Freddie Gibbs is super talented, man. And I think he's an important voice right now, especially from an independent standpoint. I'm not sure what his label situation is, but he's somebody who's like punching from the underground. You know what I'm saying? He has a cult following. So
for real, I think he's still independent. He's been one of those artists that been through like a roller coaster. He came in. I think he was signed to Interscope to begin with, and got no push. I remember I was on a Freddie early because I was a J. Cole fan early. He was on a J. Cole XXL cover freshman year, and which was a
2011,
crazy
I
cover.
believe, right?
Yeah, 2010, 2011, one of those. I
Yeah,
believe.
for sure.
It was him. It was Nipsey. I believe it was Wiz. It was a bunch of people on there. It was crazy. And Freddie, I think he had Midwest Cadillac Music early, and he had a few joints. And I kind of fell asleep on Freddie after a while. He got with Jeezy. I wasn't really rocking with him then.
Yeah.
And then that Pinata hit, like you said. I was like, oh,
yeah,
Freddie, there you are. Look at you. and he had a few joints in between there, like you said, the You Only Live Once joint, the Shadow Man, I think it's Shadow something. It's a few joints in between, like you said. But when he connects with these producers, he just locks down with a Mad Lib, with an Alchemist. He's shining through. And it's something to like really think about, because a lot of those projects that just one producer, one rapper are all classic level for the most part when you think about it, like in history.
Yeah, and that his joint that he dropped, was that last year or the year before? The Bandana.
The Bandana was the year before, I believe.
Yeah, with Mad Lib. That's another one, man.
Yeah, Bandana was fire.
But speaking about the Run of Jewels joint, man, I think that is the perfect soundtrack to right now.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
And what I love about it so much is that it is this white guy and this black guy, the Yankee and the Brave, right? You know, that whole theme throughout the album of them sharing their thoughts and opinions, and they always come home with the political, information and whatnot. But I think that album sound like it was made yesterday. Like, it sounded like it was made yesterday to put out today to speak to the times.
Absolutely. They always give you some important content in their music. And they go back, I think it was 2009 they first linked up for Killer Mike's rap music album, which if you ever heard that music is a necessary listen. I think it's also easier for hip-hop fans to digest that rap music album, because it's just Killer Mike rapping, LP on the beats, and it's not, the sound isn't necessarily as eccentric. I personally like the eccentric sounds of Run the Jewels because it's such a different sound than everything else out there. It's cool to kind of just break through the norm a little bit when I hear them, and they also give me important information. So that's definitely one of the first groups, the first pairings of this era that just producer and rapper, and they do it phenomenally.
Yeah, it's like some rock rap type. I don't know. Yeah. They in their own lane. They over
definitely
here
in their own lane. Like, I think it was one of the Run the Jewels album. They LP remixed it just to have cat noises as the beat. It's the wildest thing ever heard. Like, it's called Meow the Jewels. He completely he flipped all the beats. Him and Just Blaze, I think, were all cat noises. I don't know how he came up with that idea. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting listen, man, for sure. And mentioning interesting listens, my favorite song probably off of the Freddie Gibbs Alchemist joint was Something to Rap To with Tyler the Creator. He rapped like
they was getting off.
He was spitting. I'm always for that, because Tyler can spit. He just always he goes against the grain, so kind of people don't always open up to him. But he can spit when he wants to.
Yeah,
he's definitely one of those guys, man. And he started early. Like, you talking about all these cats that came up with the mixtape era. And as we talk about the mixtape era, it's only right that I mentioned what you guys did at Beerz Barz over the last month. Mixtape May is what you guys called it. Every week you guys came with a DJ. What's the DJ's name again?
DJ Sparks.
DJ Sparks, shout out to him, and shout out to Kamal Kiddo. I didn't say that earlier. You guys broke down some legendary classic mixtapes all through the month of May. Just talk about how that idea came to existence.
It was just an idea. We rarely get a chance to review mixtapes. We do have our classic series where we go through classics of the year. And I was just like, we should do like a mixtape thing. And then we just put with the wordplay Mixtape May. And then I was like, okay, let's just come up with some ideas or mixtapes that we think are dope. And we ended up picking 2 mixtapes every week for the month of May. And then on the Friday after we dropped the episode, DJ Sparks would spin directly from those mixtapes. So we did like Cushion OJ, we did Crit Was Here, we did Soul Tape 3, we did No Ceilings, we did Future Monster, we did Friday Night Lights. We also did what did we do with Friday Night Lights? We did Lil Brother DJ Drama joint that people might be sleep on, and I think I'm missing one other one. Yes.
Okay, yeah, classic. Man, those are all classic mixtapes. Yeah.
Oh, Big Shot Detroit.
Big Shot. Okay, cool. So, and before I want to ask you your top 5 mixtapes ever. before we get to that, I also have another question regarding that, I guess. So if you recall, there's kind of like the mixtape era. I kind of break things down in 3 different ways, right? So it's the golden era, the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And then there's the mixtape era right after that, from like 99 to like 05, I feel like. It was just like mixtapes was going crazy. And then after that, it's kind of like the blog era. So I always had this debate with some of my homies, like, which era was better to you, the mixtape era or that blog era?
Ooh.
Because the blog era has mixtapes also, but like mixtape, when I'm talking about mixtape era to me is like when you rapping over other people's beats. Like,
yeah. Because the blog era would be like, Wale, right? More about
Wale,
J.Cole, Sideline Story, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the mixtape era just because that bred, like when you think about Lil Wayne running rap off mixtapes, Lil Wayne was the best rapper at a certain period of time off mixtapes to the point where he would take your record and that record would be more important than the original artist record.
I'm so glad you said that.
Think about all the Gangsta Grill joints and all them joints, man. The 50 Cent, what he did during that era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The G-Unit mixtapes.
Jeezy.
That's a tough era. Jeezy.
It's a tough era for sure. And it's a tough era of like legendary artists. Like it's like Jeezy, Wayne. These artists are all like fabulous. These artists are all like just notable.
Yeah.
And
what was also, Fab Series? What was Fab Series?
There Is No Competition.
Yes.
Yeah. That's tough. That was a tough series. At that 3, it was Beamers, Benz, and Bentleys. He did Exhibit C on there. Yeah, Fab was back. Right. Funeral Fab was a nasty dude, man.
Funeral Fab, damn.
Yeah, he was going crazy back then. And I'm one of the guys who thinks Fabulous is kind of overrated. That era Fab was phenomenal to me. So like, let's get into it, man. I want to hear your 5 or your 10, whatever you got, favorite mixtapes ever.
I don't know if I don't have a top 5 from the standpoint of a ranking, but I'll give you my 5 probably favorite mixtapes ever.
Absolutely.
And what they would be, speaking of Fab, the Soul Tape 3 is one of my favorite mixtapes ever. Soul Tape 3 Fab.
I'm a Soul Tape 2 dude.
Okay. Lil Wayne Dedication 2.
Okay.
Lupe Fiasco Fahrenheit 1st and 15th, I believe.
Okay. Which one? I think it's like two or three of those.
That's the one. It's the one that had Fear on it. It's me, so just.
Okay, I think that's it's the first one. I think. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nasty. Lupe don't get enough love, man.
And then the Touch the Sky mixtape was. That's not one of my 5, but you had the Touch the Sky mixtape too.
Yeah, man.
I might have to go back to Wayne, man, and go Suffix.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Hey, I'm built like. Hey, I'm not playing with games.
Yeah. Okay. Something.
And honestly, this is more of a blog pick. And it's So Far Gone is not a mixtape, is it? That's an album, right?
I mean, it's a mixtape first, and then they got the album version. So it's a mixtape, though. It's a mixtape.
I think that was. I will put that in there.
You put that in there?
Put it in there. Yeah. So
mine's I can't knock anything you just named. I can't knock any of those. Are all like it's like there's the thing about mixtapes. There's so many classic mixtapes, and with the streaming era, like we kind of lost a lot of them. Like if you don't have them, you don't have them. You got to search them. Go to Dat Piff.
Yeah, and if they there, right? They might be there.
Like it's a lot of things that thankfully I had a hard drive during the time. And I have a bunch of stuff still. But for me, I have to go with one of my favorites is definitely Friday Night Lights. I think Cole, like that's damn near an album, like what Cole did on that one. And he outroed it with that Looking for Trouble, I'm saying, off that Good Friday. And that was like he that's when he just said, you know what, I'm one of them dudes on that record. It's Push, it's Kanye, it's Saha, it's Big Sean, and Cole just came like a wrecking ball. Then I have to go with actually from Chicago, Chance the Rapper. This is only project I really rock with. Only project from him I'm really rock with. That's Acid Rap. Acid Rap. Like, first off, like Acid Rap to me, I think if he stayed in that lane, he would be dominating rap right now. Like that sound he gave, It was just something different. It was something completely new. And I think it rubbed people the wrong way at first because it's called acid rap and people weren't fucking with acid back then. But
exactly,
it's not that at all. It's not drug music at all.
Yeah,
it's true. It's super dope. Like songs like Cocoa Butter Kisses with Vic Mensa and Twister. Everything. What's the one with Sab? I forget the name of the song with Saba, but you know Saba's the little bro, so that's Always Love. So there's a bunch of songs like that on that album, classic songs. Pusher Man is a classic joint with a dope outro on it.
Yeah.
What else? I gotta go with Wayne. When I go with Wayne, I'm going Draw 3.
Okay.
Draw 3.
It almost made it for me.
Draw 3 reminds me, like for me for Wayne is Draw 3, No Ceilings. Like those two, just Wayne just saying I'm the best. Like it just, there's no question asked about this. I'm better than y'all at y'all music. That's what he told me.
My only thing with Draw 3 is that because I was looking it up and I was like, should I put Draw 3 in there? Draw 3 had like 85 songs on it, I think, right?
It's a double disc. It's a double disc mixtape. It's like each disc is like 20 songs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think he kicked the mixtape off with the "This Is Why I'm Hot" joint, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
And then he did Black Republicans with Jewels. He bodied Upgrade You. Like who raps over Upgrade You?
Body Upgrade. Bodied
it. Then I'll have to go for number 4. I will probably rock with Lupe, Revenge of the Nerds 2. Fahrenheit 1 to 15. Yeah, Revenge. That's nasty.
Lupe the Killer was on Revenge of the Nerds,
Lupe
right?
the Killer, yes. Lupe the Killer. Yeah, he went nuts on that.
Yeah,
nuts. Absolutely incredible. And to finish it off, my 5th, I might probably have to go with gotta go with Wiz Khalifa, man. I gotta do it.
Cushion OJ?
I didn't want to do it, but yeah, Cushion Orange Juice, I got to because I just remember when it came out, it just stayed in rotation. And I listen to it now, and it aged wonderfully.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, Wiz is one of the people who disappointed me a lot. It's like his sound just never really got back to that. It just kind of, I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened. I don't know what shifted it. And
I don't know. We talked about that as well. I'm not really sure what. Kamal was saying that he kind of shifted, trying to, because of the label, trying to chase a certain sound or a certain, whatever the case may be.
That's what I say for Lupe, and I get it. I think Wiz more so chasing that sound than the label did. Honestly, I think the sound he gave the label, like I think that's what the label wanted from him. Like he gave you the Mesmerize and the joints like that, but he came back with that Black and Yellow and then We Them Boys and like, I don't need this. I don't need this music. Even the song with Fast and the Furious is definitely like one of those songs where it's already made. Just insert your verses, and you can just tell it doesn't really resonate that well, man. Yeah. And so as you can see from mine is very blog era. I'm definitely a product of the blog era for me because I just remember things like Good Friday. I remember things like and just hearing Currency and Big Crit and these guys just dominate. And I'm not a big Sean fan, but even Big Sean, like Detroit, like that mixtape you guys covered in the mixtape May, is just
Detroit is fire.
He's spitting, and shout out to Meek Mill also and other artists who came from that era, man. And so being from Chicago, I mentioned Chance, you mentioned Lupe, we both mentioned Lupe. Like, what do you think Chicago's footing is right now in hip hop? If region even matters anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really think. I think region. The only region that really matters is the South. Honestly, to say
the South and LA.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know if region even matters anymore from that, but I do. Chicago. I think there's we have our own sound, man, and it's. And when I say that, I mean like we have some musical artists that people. Yeah. That still haven't come and broken yet, like you mentioned Saba. We have this spoken word, jazzy, gospel type, like the Sabas, the No Names.
Big Jenkins.
Exactly. We have a sound, man, and I wish it was getting the credit that, like, we're very musical and introspective. We got some dope shit, man. Like Roll 25 from No Name is, Care for Me. Come on, man.
Like Jamila Woods, R&B.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, exactly. Jamila Woods.
Amazing. It's amazing. Like it's so many artists out here. And Dirk gets a lot of shine. Herb gets a lot of shine. But I really wish some of that soulful sound, because there's so much soul in Chicago.
Bro,
I wish that got some more love, man. I wish it got some more.
Prom Queen?
Man.
Bro, I had to sit with Prom Queen for like 15 minutes listening to it, because I remember when I heard the story, because one of my little bros, actually my brother-in-law, he used to go by the name of Latif Baker. He used to kind of be affiliated with some of the Pivot dudes, you know what I'm saying? Okay, sure. And he used to actually rock with Walt a little bit, you know, some years back. I remember hearing a story like, dang, when I was at work, I remember hearing what happened it was at the metro station, I believe, right?
It was
yeah. But when I heard Saba talking about it, it was just like,
yeah, man.
That was a heavy. Yeah, it got a beat switch.
Everything, man. It's like a 7-minute song with just
and it's heavy. It's heavy. So
yeah, I could damn near listen to that song. It's just it can't. Like, that's just like pure soul, pure. Just I'm giving you me. This is all me, all my feelings. Like he just expressing everything he had in his heart on that record.
That joint is and Care for Me was my number 3 best album in 2018.
Yeah, man.
Or number 2 actually. Number 2.
Oh man, that's dope. I guess it was the same year as Nipsey, I think too, right?
Nipsey was 4. Care for Me was 2, I think. 1 was what dropped that year that really smashed it? I forgot what it was.
What was that year? I'm trying to remember too. I can't think. I'm drawing a blank also.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something in there that's supposed to be huge on that list.
It was KOD was on there, Nipsey was on there, Saba was on there, and I forget.
J-Rock was on 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
2018 was fire. So, I mean,
2018, it was some super fire. I would love to do a podcast with you about some of the best years of hip-hop. Like, that's something that should definitely work on in the future with you, bro. Because some of the best years of hip-hop, a lot of it's happened recently, I believe. Like 2013 with Born Center drop with a bunch of stuff, and Magna Carta, and the years later, 444 came out with a bunch of good stuff. And there's been some great years of hip-hop recently. And, of course, we go back to like the 98s and the 03s. It's even iller. Hip-hop is rightfully so the number one genre in music, and the number one sport in the world is NBA, and that's coming back now. And with everything going on right now, I think everyone wants some sports and needs sports in their life. But do you think it's gonna be a distraction to what the cause is right now?
Absolutely not. I think that honestly they're going to look. I do think the NBA of all sports is very genuine within their support of their players and their, you know, I think that, is it Adam Silver?
Yeah.
I think that he's genuine within his conquest of making sure that, you know, hearing the voices of the players and their issues. I'm not as skeptical as I am with the NFL, you know what I'm saying, with the NBA. So I think they're going to even maybe magnify what's going on right now, you know what I'm saying? I think they're going to allow their players to speak to the issues and whatnot. They might do some tributes and whatnot.
And then I think they just organized, the coaches of the NBA just organized like some sort of union for them to push, like Kerr, Popovich, Doc Rivers, a bunch of coaches are unifying to support these causes of racial injustice and support the players. And it's phenomenal. It's complete opposite in the NFL, like you said. Like NFL, it always sounds like, I don't know if I can trust you. Like, I know what you're saying, but too much evidence. Like the NBA has shown with the Donald Sterling back in the day when he was going on that racist tirade, like that they will get rid of you if you're an owner. So it's definitely one of those things.
I think it's cultural differences within ownership.
Absolutely. Do you think just completely like there's no black owners in the NFL. Like, that alone. Do you think with NBA coming back that it'll be better for what's going on? It'll show more promotion. It'll promote the causes more. Do you think?
I don't know if it'll. You know, I definitely think that they're going to stay on target and make sure that they, you know, speak about, you know, injustice and whatnot. My only concern is that, you know, kind of, you know, shifting a little bit to sports. I don't know if the winner going to get the respect. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a double asterisk year for whoever possibly wins. So I mean,
that's why, like, I know it's weird to say this because he's a billionaire, but I feel bad for LeBron, man. I feel like this is like LeBron's, like, it's supposed to be his year.
Let me tell you something.
It's like everything's
how
bad.
shitty the year is. The icing on the cake is going to be the Lakers winning and LeBron getting his 4th ring this year. That's going to let us know this year was a wash. Because for the MJ fans, and I'm a Michael Jordan fan, but for the Fanny fans, stands of Mike, they gonna take that and they gonna run that shit.
Yeah, honestly, I hate it because I'm a Mike fan too. It's Illinois, so love Mike, but I don't hate LeBron. So like it's always a strange interaction every time I have the LeBron Mike debates because it sounds like I'm caping for LeBron. But I'm not. I'm just saying, like, y'all hating this guy way too much. That's all I'm saying. I'm
gonna be honest, and I might get my Michael Jordan fan pass removed. I think the main issue that I think Mike fans. Ooh, I'm about to get my ass kicked. I think Mike fans are afraid of how good LeBron is. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as what they see, and it's a lot of nostalgia that comes into play. I don't think Mike fans want anybody to touch Mike. And when you're watching him, it's like, man. You know what I'm saying? I got LeBron number 2.
Me too. You
know?
I got Mike 1, Bron 2, Kobe 3. And for me, it's like Mike could never be number 2 because of nostalgia. Like that alone. Like no matter what happens, he has the shoes. He has just we put him on this pedestal that he can't mess up. Like watching Last Dance, like I think the whole world watched that. I was on my seat every day, like every Sunday, like, all right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's and I miss it. Like, man, I wish this was back. And as a Bulls fan, it's super bittersweet because that guy was so great that he did all that in the 90s. And here we are in 2020, and our team ain't gonna play no more this year. Like the Bulls are not even invited to the rest of the season.
Yo, the Bulls are done. Get our ownership. I don't know what they're doing. But not to go back to Mike. I think Mike is my one because of there are certain intangibles, right?
Sure.
I think winning. I've said this before. I think winning is slightly overrated when you talk about GOATs because teams win, not individuals. But Mike and like Tom Brady, I think are psychopaths, man. Like these people, they crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Super crazy.
And they have these intangibles that push them to the top for me, you know what I'm saying? With how the will and effort to never lose, you know, it puts them there.
I think winning is overrated, but Michael Jordan is the exception. Like it's kind of like that.
Exactly.
It's like he's just the exception. Like he had just that will to win that I don't think it's possible for most people. You can't teach that. Like,
because that intangible is what made him win. Like even pushing his own teammates, like. They hate that man, but it's like I understand. Like without him, we don't win. So
exactly, man. And with that being said, man, I appreciate you for being on the episode right here, man. It's gonna be on YouTube, on the BKC Network YouTube channel, and on the GoldN Hood Pod YouTube channel, and both of the IGTVs. Shout out to OT, the GoldN Child. Please tell them where they can find you and Beerz Barz Podcast, bro.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at OT the GoldN Child. Make sure you check out Beerz Barz. That's Beerz Barz everything. Merchandise. Shout out to my homie Kamal Kiddo. Luella Cole gear is available at luellacole.com. That's what it is, man. Yeah,
dope. And you can find me Juice JVP on Twitter, Instagram. Good in the Hood Pod on Instagram and Good in All Hoods on Twitter, man. Appreciate you again, bro. I would love to do this again in the future. Great conversation. And we gotta get a beer soon, man, for sure.
Hold on, wait. I'll tell you what. Before we get into, I'll for when we do classics 2003, I'll bring you on.
Dope. Sign me up, man. You gonna catch me? You gonna catch me in there definitely with Black Album probably in hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Trap music, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Ooh, okay, yeah. 03 was a tough one. Get Rich is in there. Yeah, for sure, be on there, man. And before you go, what is one, your favorite beer all around, and two, your favorite beer from Chicago?
Oh my God!
If I mean, maybe that's your favorite. Just give me one that you drinking right now. Maybe I know you're beer.
Yeah, if you're gonna check out something that's local or something that's probably available everywhere, you can check out any beer from Revolution Brewing. You can go to Benny's and ask about Hot Butcher. That might not be there because they sell out fast. You can check out any beer from Old Irving, Illuminated Brew Works. These are all local breweries within the Chicagoland area that all have good beers. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just drinking casually, though, it's probably gonna be I don't know, man. I drink so much beer. I can't even answer that question. So.
I'm a big Sierra Nevada Lagunitas guy.
Yes.
A lot of that's in my tuck. Little something's amazing. Little something is, man, that's definitely gonna get you right. It's gonna get you right.
Exactly.
You don't need about 3 of those. You need about just 2, and you'll get there. You know. Do it. Man, peace and blessings, bro. Thank you again, man.
All right, man, for sure.
Peace out.